Hello friends, today I will discuss a very important topic, that is holography, or how a hologram is made. Introduction. The word holography originates from Greek words holos means complete and graphos means writing. Thus it is a technique to record the complete picture of an object. The technique was proposed by scientist Gabor in 1947. An ordinary photograph records the two-dimensional image of the picture because it records only the amplitude or intensity distribution. But in holography technique, both the intensity as well as phase of the light wave is recorded. That I will discuss further. In holography, the light waves reflected from an object is recorded. These light waves consist of intensity and phase, and the record is called a hologram. The hologram has no resemblance to the original object, but it contains all the information about the object in a optical code. Processes in holography. The formation of hologram is done by a process called recording process. The formation of three-dimensional image from hologram is done with a process called reconstruction process. Thus, holography consists of two processes, recording of hologram and reconstruction of image. Let us discuss these two processes one by one. The first one is recording of hologram. This is the diagram of recording of hologram. The recording of hologram is based on the phenomenon on the process of interference. It requires a laser source, a plane mirror or beam splitter, an object, and a photographic plate. A laser beam from the laser source is incident on a plane mirror or beam splitter. Here you can see it is incident on the beam splitter. As the name suggests, the function of the beam splitter is to split the laser beam. The beam splitter is made partially polished and it is inclined at an angle of 45 degree. One part of the splitted beam after reflection from the beam splitter strikes on the photographic plate. This beam is called reference beam. While other part of the split beam transmitted from the beam splitter strikes on the photographic plate after suffering reflection from various points of object. This beam is called object beam. That is, one part is reflected and it incident on the photographic plate. Another part is transmitted. After transmission, it incident on the object, and after incident on the object, it is reflected from the object and it falls or incident on the photographic plate. This is called the object beam. The object beam reflected from the object interferes with the reference beam when both the beams reach the photographic plate. That's why I have said that the recording is based on the process of interference, because interference is happening here. The superposition of these two beams produces an interference pattern in the form of dark and bright fringes. About the fringes you must have learned in the interference part in your lower classes, and this pattern is recorded on the photographic plate. The photographic plate, that is the plate which records the information of the photons. That's why it is known as a photographic plate, and it acts like a hologram. The photographic plate with recorded interference pattern is called hologram. Photographic plate is also known as a Gabor zone plate in honor of Denis Gabor, who developed the phenomenon of holography. Each and every part of the hologram receives light from various points of the object. Thus, even if hologram is broken into parts, each part is capable of reconstructing the whole object. You must have understood that why photographic plate is called hologram, because holo word comes from complete, gram means graph. That is, now this photographic plate consists the information of complete information about the object. That's why this is known as hologram. Now the reconstruction of image. It is based on the principle of diffraction. In the reconstruction process, the hologram is illuminated by laser beam, and this beam is called reconstruction beam. The hologram is illuminated by the reconstruction laser beam. This beam is identical to the reference beam used in construction of hologram. The hologram acts as a diffraction grating. Now, what is basically diffraction grating? Grating is an arrangement consisting of equidistant, opaque and transparent parallel lines that you must have learned in the diffraction chapter of your lower class. Otherwise, the diffraction grating means the grating used to diffract the rays. It consists of a opaque portion, then a transparent, opaque, transparent, opaque, transparent, and the light will pass through it, and it will be diffracted. It will bend at the corner of an obstacle. So what happened in the recording process? The exactly happened that the bright and dark images are formed. These bright and dark images will act as opaque and transparent portions. This reconstruction beam will undergo phenomenon of diffraction during passage through the hologram that I have explained earlier. The reconstruction beam, after passing through the hologram, produces a real as well as a virtual image of the object. One of the diffracted beams emerging from the hologram appears to diverge from an apparent object when projected back. Here you can see the same. Thus, virtual image is formed behind the hologram at the original site of the object, and real image that we can develop in the lab is in front of the hologram. Thus, an observer sees light waves diverging from the virtual image, and the image is identical to the object. If the observer moves around the virtual image, then other sides of the object which were not noticed earlier would be observed. Therefore, the virtual image exhibits all the true three-dimensional characteristics. The real image can be recorded on a photographic plate. If the rays passes through and it is not diffracted, then we will get the zero order image. That is, we will get the maxima here. And I will try to explain the formation of virtual image. The formation of virtual image. You must have seen in your books, in the very good books of certain publication houses, like hologram is made on the cover page or on the back page of the book. Just try to move that page. You will see the name of the publication house mentioned here, and as you can realize that the image is formed behind that illuminated object made on the book, made on the cover of the book. That is a virtual image. So the virtual image exhibits all the true information. The real image can be recorded on a photographic plate. For further reference, please search our website winnerscience.com. Please subscribe and like our channel. For collaborations, guest lectures, laser ebook, please email winnerscience@gmail.com. Thank you. Thanks a lot.